Number 1. The Cosmic Ray Joyride. It all began when Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic, aka Human Spaghetti, decided to borrow a spaceship and take his best friend, girlfriend, and her teenage brother on a casual trip to space. Not for science, not for exploration, just to test a theory. The theory? Hey, maybe we won't die if we fly straight into a cosmic radiation storm. NASA said no. The launch was unauthorized. The shielding wasn't tested. Reed's response? Screw it. Science waits for no one. Translation: I've got the scientific impulse control of a lab rat on meth. They blasted off, got blasted by space cancer, and crash-landed back on Earth. Now mutated into a stretchy guy, a rock monster, a human torch, and a woman who turns invisible when she's mad. And the worst part? Reed didn't even apologize. He was too busy calculating the trajectory of his own ego. Number 2. The time they let Dr. Doom crash with him like he wasn't a literal war criminal. Victor Von Doom. The name alone should trigger every red flag from Latveria to the Baxter Building. And yet, the Fantastic Four keep letting this guy into their lives like he's just a misunderstood roommate, not a metal-faced dictator with a PhD in villainy and a side hustle in black magic. Doom has tried to kill them, repeatedly. He's built time machines, kidnapped their families, declared himself God, literally, and once swapped bodies with Reed just to prove he had the better beard. But sure, let's invite him to brunch. There was that time Reed trusted Doom to help fix the multiverse, because nothing says problem solver like a guy who's detonated planets out of spite. Doom predictably hijacked godhood and remade the universe in his own image. Again, shocker. The team's excuse? Maybe this time he's changed. That's like trusting your arsonist neighbor because he watered the plant. Doom doesn't change. He just upgrades to more dangerous forms of insane. He's Magneto without the trauma, Lex Luthor without the skincare crisis, and the Fantastic Four, full-time enablers. Letting Doom stick around isn't just dumb. It's like rehiring the guy who poisoned your coffee and hoping he's into smoothies now. Number 3. That time they accidentally swapped babies with Skrulls. The Skrulls are shape-shifting aliens whose entire brand is cosmic identity theft. So, when they snatch your newborn and replace it with one of their own, you'd hope someone in the room, maybe the genius scientist or the telepathic mom, might notice. But not the Fantastic Four. Sue Storm gives birth. They all coo over the baby, and somehow nobody sees a problem. No green tinge, no weird alien cries, no, hey, wasn't this baby 6 ounces heavier yesterday? They just carry on parenting a space lizard like it's business as usual. And how do they eventually figure it out? Not through Reed's super science, not through Sue's intuition. Nope. The Skrulls get lazy. That's it. Intergalactic negligence is the only reason this swap gets caught. If the aliens hadn't fumbled the con, the kid would have been enrolled in preschool with a Skrull name tag. This wasn't infiltration. This was a cosmic-level parenting faceplant. Forget saving the universe. They couldn't even secure their own nursery. It makes Home Alone look like a well-planned safety seminar. Number 4. The time they let Dr. Doom be their wedding guest. Reed and Sue finally tied a knot. Big event, celebrity guest list, all eyes on Marvel's golden couple. So, naturally, they invited Dr. Doom. You know, the megalomaniac who's tried to kill them dozens of times, built murder bots out of spite, and once trapped their son in hell. That guy. Not only was he invited, he accepted, then immediately hatched a plan to ruin everything. Doom built a device to mess with everyone's minds and summon a gauntlet of villains to crash the ceremony. And not just C-listers, we're talking full supervillain Royal Rumble. The wedding almost turned into a crater. But here's the kicker, they knew he'd do this. It's Doom. Doom always dooms. He's less a person, more a disaster with armor. Inviting him is like handling a flamethrower to a toddler and saying, just behave for 5 minutes. But no, the Fantastic Four thought, this is about love. Doom can put aside his genocidal tendencies for cake and champagne. Spoiler, he didn't. Number 5. The time they went to space with no idea what they were doing. The Fantastic Four's origin story isn't heroic. It's a cautionary tale about why you don't let a stretchy narcissist plan a space mission. Reed wanted to beat the Russians into orbit. That's it. Not for science, not for safety, just pure Cold War bragging rights. So he slapped together a rocket, skipped any real shielding, and brought his bestie, his girlfriend, and her teenage brother. NASA? Flight testing? Radiation protocols? Nah, just vibes and optimism. So they launch into space, get nuked by cosmic rays, and crash back to Earth with powers that should have turned them into glowing corpses. Instead, they become a superhero family. Because apparently, physics takes a smoke break when plot armor is involved. They didn't discover space. They discovered reckless exposure. It's like if Elon Musk took his friends on a test flight in a microwave and then blamed the sun. And somehow, we still treat this like a noble origin story. Number 6. The time they let Doom babysit. At some point, the Fantastic Four thought, you know who should hang out with our son? A sociopath in medieval armor who calls himself a god. That's not a metaphor. Reed and Sue actually let Dr. Doom spend time with Franklin Richards, arguably the most powerful child in existence. What could go wrong? Everything. Doom didn't just watch Franklin. He tried to manipulate him, control his powers, and twist him into a weapon. Because of course he did. That's Doom's whole deal. Corrupting what's good until it explodes. And yet, this wasn't a one-time mistake. The Four keep circling back to Doom. Maybe he's changed. Maybe this time he won't try to harvest our child's soul like a magical Capri Sun. He did. Again. Number 7. The time they accidentally kidnapped a Skrull baby. You'd think one of Marvel's smartest teams would double-check their baby before leaving the hospital. But no. During a chaotic Skrull invasion, the Fantastic Four somehow swapped their actual child with an alien shapeshifter. And then, just didn't notice. For weeks, Franklin was replaced by a Skrull infant impersonating him, and nobody caught on. Not Reed the genius, not Sue the literal mother, not Johnny or Ben. The only clue was, he seems different. By the time they realized their blunder, the real Franklin had been dragged into an interstellar custody battle. Intergalactic lawyers, explosions, screaming green infants. Good times. They didn't just lose a kid, they outsourced parenting to a species at war with Earth. It's not a plot twist, it's a cosmic level oopsie. Number 8. The time Reed ruined the multiverse with the Illuminati. Reed Richards looked at the chaos of the Marvel Universe and thought, you know what this needs? Secret meetings. So he formed the Illuminati, a hidden cabal of Marvel's smartest, most self-righteous men, and also Namor. Their mission? Make big decisions behind everyone's backs. Ethics? Transparency? Nah, just massive egos in one room. Reed's crown achievement? Nearly destroying the multiverse. When alternate realities started colliding, Reed and his squad tried to fix it by building planet-destroying bombs. You read that right. Their solution to cosmic instability was more explosions. It's like trying to stop a forest fire with napalm. The result? Incursions. Universes imploding. Countless innocent lives erased. All because Reed couldn't admit he needed help, or maybe therapy. Worst part, he did it all with that smug, I know better face. Even as entire timelines were disintegrating like wet tissue paper. Reed didn't save the multiverse, he turned it into a science project with a kill count. Number 9. The time Johnny burned down a galaxy. Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch, once got dumped by an alien princess. His response? He lit himself on fire and accidentally triggered a war that wiped out an entire galaxy. No, seriously. The woman in question was a member of the Skrull royal family, and Johnny's over-the-top heartbreak tantrum activated a sacred beacon that signaled a challenge to galactic dominance. Within hours, star systems were on fire, empires collapsed, billions dead, all because Johnny couldn't process rejection like a normal adult. And the kicker? He didn't even mean to do it. This wasn't strategic. This wasn't even revenge. It was the cosmic equivalent of crying into a pillow and then blowing up the pillow, the bed, and the continent it was on. Imagine being the alien general writing the war report. Cause of conflict, human male, fire powers, feeling hurt. Number 10. The time they let Galactus eat their teammate. The Fantastic Four once had a fifth member, Frankie Ray, aka Nova, a cosmic-powered hero who could have gone toe-to-toe with the stars. But then Galactus showed up, big purple space god with an appetite for planets, and the team just handed her over. Galactus needed a new herald, and instead of saying, "That's our friend," the Fantastic Four stood back while Frankie volunteered. No one stopped her, no one offered a better idea. They just nodded and let her become the intergalactic Uber Eats for a mass-murdering deity. Frankie didn't get a goodbye party. She got a one-way trip to serve the universe's biggest threat. Literally. This wasn't strategy. It was cosmic ghosting. And later, when she started torching worlds at Galactus' command, everyone acted shocked. Like, wait, why is she incinerating civilizations? Gee, maybe because you let her join the menu planning committee. Number 11. The time they let the zombie version of themselves invade reality. In an alternate dimension, the Fantastic Four became zombies, flesh-eating, rotting super corpses with stretchy limbs and fire breath. Naturally, Reed decided it was a great idea to open a portal to that universe. Why? Because he thought he could cure them. Spoiler, he couldn't. Instead, he gave the undead Fantastic Four access to our reality. Within minutes, they started chewing through heroes like a buffet. Spider-Man? Bitten. The Avengers devoured. Half of Earth's defenses crumbled because Reed had a curiosity itch he had to scratch. This wasn't science. It was necromancy with extra steps. And the worst part, Zombie Reed was just as smart, only now he was thinking about how to eat the multiverse instead of saving it. So congratulations, Reed. You didn't just break the universe this time. You invited it to eat itself. Number 12. The time they tried to bargain with Mephisto and thought that was smart. Ah yes, Mephisto. Marvel's charming little spin on the literal devil. You'd think a family of brilliant minds would know better than to make deals with a red-skinned demon whose business card might as well read Soul Collector and Reality Ruiner. But nope, the Fantastic Four just waltz into Hell's waiting room with open arms and a clipboard. There are multiple instances where Mephisto pops up offering deals to the team, and instead of slamming the door in his horned face, they start negotiating. Not with leverage, not with backup, with emotion. You know, the exact currency Mephisto feeds on. In one especially dumb moment, Franklin Richards, their literal god-tier son, gets kidnapped by Mephisto, and instead of calling, say, Doctor Strange, they charge in themselves like it's a PTA meeting and not a battle for someone's eternal soul. And Reed, the man with a calculator where his head should be, he hesitates, thinks about Mephisto's offer, because nothing says Father of the Year like considering a devil's trade offer while your child screams in existential limbo. Mephisto, of course, uses the opportunity to toy with them, distort their minds, and casually warp reality like he's folding a fitted sheet. And the team? They're shocked. Shocked, I tell you. Because who could have guessed that trusting a demon might backfire? This isn't bravery. It's stupidity in a superhero costume. You don't outwit Satan with science. You don't trade blows with Mephisto and expect to walk away unchanged. But the Fantastic Four treat Hell Dimensions the way most people treat IKEA. Confusing, chaotic, and somehow always ending in tears. Number 13. The time they kept calling themselves the Fantastic Four, even when there weren't four. You'd think a team built around the number 4 would at least be good at counting, but no, the Fantastic Four routinely operated with 3, 5, 6, and sometimes no original members, and still kept the name like it was trademarked by cosmic law. There have been times when Reed was presumed dead, Johnny quit, Ben went to space, or Sue took a break from Reed's emotional unavailability. And instead of hitting pause or rebranding, they just shoved in whoever was nearby. Spider-Man? Sure, toss him in. Wolverine? Why not? Ghost Rider and the Hulk? Welcome to the family. At one point, the lineup was so far removed from the original four, it looked like a Marvel crossover draft that forgot to end. Did they rename themselves the Fantastic Five, the Functional Trio, the Reckless Substitute Squad? Nope. Always the Fantastic Four, because apparently branding is more important than basic arithmetic. This isn't just misleading, it's denial. Reed could be in a coma, Sue off ruling Atlantis, Johnny stuck in the negative zone, and Ben on vacation in space. And they'd still call it a Fantastic Four mission, as if acknowledging the number would somehow unravel reality. It's a superhero equivalent of a band losing all of its original members and still touring under the same name. Nostalgia is one thing, willful mathematical ignorance is another. So in the end, the truly most consistent thing about the Fantastic Four is how often they get it wrong.